Welcome to AI for Beginners Demystified, the podcast that makes artificial intelligence simple, practical, and profitable for small business owners. Each week, we turn complex AI concepts into real-world strategies you can use to grow your business. Hosted by the team at Internet Marketing Services. This is AI for Beginners Demystified, where the future of business starts today. Let's get started.
Welcome to AI for Beginners Demystified, the podcast that makes artificial intelligence simple, practical, and exciting. I'm Rick Samara.
And I'm Paul Stober. I have a serious question for you, and I want you to be totally honest with me.
Okay, lay it on me.
Does anyone else feel like AI is just everywhere all at once? I mean, feels like this massive tidal wave.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone is talking about it. Everyone has a hot tick on LinkedIn. And then you sit down at your desk on a Tuesday morning and you wonder, are we actually using it or are we just kind of stressing out about it?
That is the question of the year, isn't it? It's the classic shiny object syndrome, like amplified by 1,000. Totally. We are absolutely drowning in headlines, but we're starving for actual utility. We play with the tools. Sure, we generate a funny poem about our cat or, make a weird image of an astronaut riding a horse.
Right, which is fun for 5 minutes.
It's fun, but most people haven't quite figured out how to weave it into the boring, practical fabric of their actual jobs.
Exactly. It feels like we're stuck in the sandbox phase. We're building sandcastles while the tide is coming in. But today, we're going to fix that.
I hope so.
We're doing this podcast to look into two really fascinating sources that are all about growing up, moving from just playing with tech to actually integrating it.
Right. And what's interesting is that they tackle this from two completely different yet complementary angles.
Okay.
On one side, we have an article looking at small businesses, specifically how smart owners are stopping the whole software approach and starting to treat AI like a literal employee.
Which is such a fascinating mental shift. I can't wait to get into that.
It really is. And then on the flip side, we have this comprehensive guide on certifications. And this is for the individuals, the job seekers, the people trying to stay relevant.
And it argues that AI certifications are basically the new university degree.
That is a bold claim.
But looking at the stats, it seems to hold up.
It does. So, that's the common thread here. Our mission today is to explore how the workforce is changing. It is no longer about just having a cool tool. It's about structure, verification, and treating AI as a serious economic asset.
Whether you're doing the hiring or you're the one trying to get hired. So let's unpack this AI employee concept first. This comes from that article on small businesses, and it makes such a good point. The problem isn't the tech, it's that we treat it like software. But why is that a bad thing? We use software all day.
We do. But think about your relationship with it. When you buy a new accounting platform, what happens?
It becomes a project.
It becomes a project. You have to learn it. You have to configure it. You have to teach your team how to use it. You are doing all the work to make the tool work. It's a burden.
Oh, totally. It's another login to remember, another dashboard to check. It feels like a chore. I've definitely signed up for tools that I stopped using because the learning curve was just too steep. I ended up being less productive.
Exactly. That's software fatigue. But if you hire an employee, the dynamic is completely different. You don't configure an employee, right? You give them a job description, you train them once, and then you expect them to do the work.
Yep.
You expect accountability. You expect them to get better over time. That is the shift. Don't buy AI tools. Hire an AI employee.
So it's about agency. Software waits for you to click a button. An employee, even a digital one, acts on your behalf.
Precisely. And the specific example the source drills down on is voice AI, which makes a ton of sense. right? It's the front line of almost every small business.
It is the most natural entry point, but let's get specific because people hear voice AI and they think of those terrible automated phone trees. Press 1 for hours. I didn't catch that. That's not what we're talking about, is it?
No, absolutely not. We are talking about modern conversational agents, context-aware AI. Think about it. If you run a dental practice or a plumbing business, your phone is your lifeline.
But also your biggest bottleneck.
Exactly. If you're drilling a tooth or fixing a burst pipe, you cannot answer the phone. That missed call is missed revenue.
And the solution is usually voicemail, which nobody leaves, or hiring a human receptionist.
Right. And voice AI acts as that frontline staff member, answers calls, handles scheduling, answers basic questions. But here is the employee aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike a human, the AI doesn't get tired.
It works 24/7, no lunch breaks, no mental health days.
It doesn't get sick. It doesn't have bad days where it snaps at a customer. Yeah. And crucially, it doesn't have turnover costs.
Yeah.
If your receptionist quits, you are scrambling for weeks.
Oh, yeah. Interviewing, retraining.
The AI just keeps going. It scales instantly.
There was one detail in the source that I thought was just brilliant. They called it the no learning curve.
Yes. This is the biggest friction point in tech adoption, usually.
Right? Because usually I have to teach my customer how to use my app or teach my staff how to use the back end.
Quick question for med spa owners. How many calls did you miss this week? Because every unanswered call could be a $500 to $3,000 client booking somewhere else. That's why med spas are turning to Voice AI Plus, an AI-powered receptionist and follow-up system that answers every call 24/7, books appointments, and follows up automatically. No voicemail, no missed opportunities, no extra staff. And it doesn't stop there. Voice AI Plus also includes your CRM, booking calendar, email automation, and review management, all in one system. Try it free for 30 days and see the calls, the bookings, and the ROI for yourself. Visit the link in the description to learn more today.
But with voice AI, the customer doesn't change a thing. They just call the phone number like they always have. They talk. And the business owner doesn't need to learn prompt engineering.
That's the key distinction the source makes between DIY experimentation and a managed implementation.
Which is a massive trap. If you are a small business owner, do you really want to spend your nights figuring out API keys and prompt structures?
No, you want a result.
You want the phone answered. Managed AI is like hiring a trained professional. You aren't building the robot, you are hiring the service that the robot provides.
It's delegating versus tinkering, which is exactly what a boss should do. But let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Please do.
If I'm a customer and I call a plumber and a robot answers, am I hanging up? Is the tech really good enough to pass as an employee?
That's the valid fear. A few years ago, yes, you'd hang up. Today, the latency is down. The voices are natural. The context awareness is there. It can check the calendar in real time.
So it doesn't just say we're open. It says we have a slot at 2 p.m. Would you like that?
Precisely. It's the difference between a recording and a conversation. And for a customer with a burst pipe, they'd rather talk to a competent bot immediately than leave a voicemail for a human who might call back in 3 hours.
That's a fair point. Speed is a form of service. Service.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's the business side. Treat the bot like staff. But let's pivot, because if I'm a human employee and I see the business hiring these AI agents that don't sleep, I'm starting to sweat a little bit.
And you should be paying attention. This isn't about panic, but it is about awareness. This brings us to our second source on the rise of AI certifications. The article's pretty blunt, saying I've played with ChatGPT is no longer enough.
That's the AI curious trap.
We all went through it. 2023 was the year of curiosity. That was fine for then. But now employers are asking, okay, but can you actually build a workflow? Can you ensure data privacy? Do you know the limitations?
If you can't demonstrate capability, you risk becoming invisible.
That's the argument.
There was a stat in this article that actually made me stop and reread it. It said that 71% of business leaders would prefer a candidate with fewer years of experience if they have strong AI skills.
That is a seismic shift. Let that sink in.
That is wild. It basically says, I don't care if you've been doing this for 10 years. If you don't know how to use these tools, I'll take the rookie who does. Isn't that a devaluing experience?
It's reevaluating what experience means. The argument is that the rookie who uses AI effectively might be twice as productive as the veteran who refuses to adapt.
It's all about output.
Right? And the source calls certifications the new degree. Think about the traditional college road. 4 years, a ton of money, and by the time you graduate, the tech has changed.
And these certifications are what? A few weeks? A few months?
Exactly. They are cheaper, quicker, and according to the data, they offer a 94% higher chance of getting hired compared to relying solely on a traditional degree path in some of these fast-moving sectors.
I want to clarify something for everyone listening because I think people hear AI certification and they assume it's for coders.
That is a dangerous assumption.
They think I'm in marketing. This isn't for me.
The source explicitly mentions that 92% of organizations plan to use AI by 2028. And where are the biggest benefits? It's sales and marketing. 86% adoption. HR, 78%.
HR, that surprises me. How does HR use this?
I mean, think about the volume of data. Screening thousands of resumes, personalizing onboarding materials, analyzing employee sentiment surveys to predict turnover.
Okay, fair enough.
If you are in HR and you don't understand these tools, you are going to be left behind by someone who does.
So why does the piece of paper matter? Why can't I just watch YouTube videos and say, I know it?
You might trust your sink repair to a YouTube video, but an employer isn't going to trust their enterprise data to someone who watched a few videos.
Fair point.
It's about risk. The certification provides the signal. It turns that ad hoc experimentation into structured competence. It proves you have validated skills. You didn't just learn the cool trick. You learned governance. You learned data privacy.
And that's the big one, security. It's about showing you aren't a liability.
Exactly. A certification tells an employer, this person knows the guardrails.
And there is a financial incentive too. We can't ignore the money.
Never ignore the money.
The compensation study found that AI-related skills command a pay premium of 7% to 23% above base salary.
That is not insignificant, as the author put it. That's not a motivational quote. That's a pay stub difference.
I love that line. But 23%, that's massive. Why is a premium so high?
Because of leverage. If I hire you and you are AI literate, you aren't just one employee. You are one employee plus a suite of agents. You can do the research of 3 people. You can draft content at 5x the speed. The company is paying for that efficiency.
And it's an income protection strategy. The source argues, and I agree, that AI might not take your job. Someone who knows how to use AI better than you might.
That's the scary part, but also the empowering part. You can be that person.
Exactly. Certifications keep you on the right side of that equation.
It changes you from a depreciating asset, someone whose skills are getting old, to an appreciating one.
Okay, but here is where it gets overwhelming again. The source mentions the Galaxy suite of tools, and it says there are over 3,900 generative AI tools out there.
It's a lot.
If I go to look for a certification right now, I'm going to get lost. How do we navigate this without wasting time?
It's very easy to get sidetracked. The source breaks this down really helpfully into 3 distinct tiers. You need to pick the one that matches your role.
Okay, let's walk through them. What is tier 1?
Tier 1 is foundational or literacy. This is for the non-technical roles, marketing, HR, project management, and courses like generative AI for everyone.
This is the don't sound stupid in a meeting tier.
Essentially, yes. But it's also don't make dangerous mistakes. It covers the basics, business use cases, and prompt engineering. The source had a great line about this. It prevents you from sounding like you think GPU is a new energy drink.
Which, to be fair, sounds like a great name for an energy drink. Grab a GPU and go.
It does sound refreshing, but you don't want to say that in a strategy meeting with your CTO. That's tier 1. It's table stakes.
Okay. Tier 2.
Tier 2 is platform specific. This is where it gets tactical. This is your AWS, Azure, Google Cloud stuff.
So for technical or hybrid roles?
Right? If you are a developer or a technical analyst, if your company runs on Microsoft Azure, getting the Microsoft Certified Azure AI Engineer Associate is gold. It proves you can actually deploy and monitor solutions within that ecosystem.
So it's strictly vocational. If the company uses Google Cloud, don't get the Azure cert.
Exactly. Match the stack.
And then tier 3. This sounds intimidating.
Machine learning and deep learning. This is for the engineers, the data scientists. This is the heavy lifting. We are talking Andrew Ng's specialization or the IBM Machine Learning Professional Certificate. You are building the engine, not just driving the car.
So don't take the Andrew N course if you just want to write better marketing emails.
Please don't. You will be miserable. The advice is strategic selection. Don't just Google top 10 AI certifications. You have to align it with your target role.
That is really solid advice. Stop chasing hype. Start chasing utility for your job.
Precisely.
So let's say I've done it. I went out, I got my tier 1 cert. Now what? How do I actually use this to get a job or a raise? Did the source have some specific advice on this?
It did. And this is where most people fail. It starts with LinkedIn. Most people just dump the acronyms in the certification section at the bottom, that graveyard where nobody looks.
Guilty. I think I have a CPR certification from 2004 down there.
Exactly. Don't do that. You need to provide context. The source suggests a specific format, lists the provider, the year, and, this is key, the focus area. So Azure AI Engineer Associate should focus on NLP and generative AI.
That makes sense. It tells the recruiter exactly what you know.
But you have to take it a step further. You need to connect the dots. The most powerful thing you can do on a resume is connect the certificate to a concrete achievement.
Give me an example. What does that look like?
Instead of just listing the cert, you write a bullet point under your job history that says, use skills from X certification to build a lead scoring model that improved conversion by 15%.
Boom. That's the money shot.
Right? You are showing application. You aren't just a collector of digital badges. You are a problem solver. You are answering this so what question before they even ask it.
I love that. And the source also mentioned this isn't a once and done thing.
No. And that's the reality. AI is evolving so fast. If you got certified 2 years ago,
it feels like ancient history.
It really is. Yeah. The models we use today didn't even exist publicly then. So certifications show a willingness to learn. Employers know the tech will change. They want to know that you have the habit of changing with it.
You aren't waiting to be dragged into the future. You are walking there on purpose. I love that phrase. It's a good one. So let's wrap this up. We started with the business owner realizing that treating AI as a reliable employee, specifically things like voice AI, is the key to scaling without the headache of managing software.
Right. It's about leveraging the asset, not fighting the tool.
And then for the individual, the worker, the strategy is about structured, verifiable skills, getting that certification to prove you aren't just playing around.
And that is the common thread. Yeah. Whether you are hiring the AI agent or trying to get hired yourself, the market is shifting toward verifiable value. The hype cycle is ending. The utility cycle is beginning.
It really feels like the Wild West days are closing and the civilization phase is starting.
That's a great way to put it.
So here is the thought I want to leave you with today. It's been sticking with me since we read that stat about 71% of leaders preferring skills over experience.
Mm-hmm.
If we are entering an era where adaptability completely trumps tenure, what does your current experience actually count for if it isn't AI augmented? Are we looking at a world where seniority is no longer about time served, but about how new your skills are?
It's a provocative question. It suggests the corporate ladder might be turning into a rock climbing wall. You have to keep moving just to stay on.
It really does. Something to chew on while you look up those certifications.
Indeed.
All right, Rick, let's bring this one home. Today's episode really started with that feeling a lot of people have right now. AI is everywhere, but somehow it still feels confusing.
Yeah. It's like we're drowning in headlines but starving for usefulness. Everyone's playing with tools, generating images, writing poems about their dog, but not actually integrating AI into real work.
Exactly. We talked about how most people are still stuck in what we called the sandbox phase, experimenting without direction.
And that's the danger. Because while people are experimenting, the expectations inside organizations are quietly shifting. Leaders aren't asking if you're using AI anymore, they're asking how.
Which is why we dug into those two big ideas today. First, AI maturity isn't about tools, it's about workflows. And second, the people who win with AI are the ones who move from novelty to utility.
Right? The companies getting real value aren't chasing every new model. They're picking one or two use cases and integrating AI into boring, repeatable processes, the stuff that actually saves time or improves decisions.
All right, let's do a quick key takeaways before we wrap.
Takeaway number one, AI hype is loud, but real value is quiet. If it's helping your day-to-day work, you're doing it right.
Takeaway two, experimentation without integration stalls progress. Playing is fine, but eventually AI has to earn its place in the workflow.
And takeaway three, AI advantage comes from consistency, not cleverness. The boring use cases are usually the most valuable ones.
So let's turn this into an actionable item for this week.
Here it is. Pick one task you do every week, writing emails, summarizing meetings, analyzing data, and intentionally use AI to improve or speed up that single task.
No new tools, no overthinking, just one practical use case that saves you time or reduces friction.
Because once AI becomes useful instead of impressive, that's when it actually sticks.
And that's where real AI maturity begins.
Thanks for listening to AI for Beginners Demystified, brought to you by Internet Marketing Services, helping small businesses harness the power of AI to work smarter and grow faster. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. Be sure to check out the description below for valuable links and resources, including free tools, learning guides, and ways to start applying AI in your business today. And visit einternetmarketingservices.com to explore even more AI tools, tips, and resources. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep demystifying AI.